Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is going to be the second devlog of Shinobi no Sekai. I wanted to make this video mainly because I noticed a lot of people who I've given the Addon to don't understand what's going on. So I wanted to explain everything and clear a lot of things up. Basically, at the beginning of the game, you're going to, of course, have the intro. This intro is not final. It's probably going to get redone. But I did want to show it off. Ooh, that was a little bit buggy. Anyways, it'll look a lot better in game. It's glitchy right now. My phone's lagging like crazy. Of course, you can scroll through these. Most of these don't work. If you hold jump, then you'll be able to see the background scene. I add more scenes than just this one later on. But for now, of course, we got play, and we're just going to just play. Alright. Basically, we're going to go over a few eyes. We're going to go over a few things here that should not be on my back. I gotta figure out that bug. Don't worry about it. We're going to go over 2 jutsus. We're going to go over the getting Naruto boss fight. And other than that, we're just going to go over a few of these cosmetic items. We're going to go based off of the basic systems in the game. And other than that, this should be a pretty simple video to make. Anyways, we are back. We're going to start off with just basic things like guns. And then we'll look at cosmetics. And then, yeah, I'm going to explain the basics of guns. Of course, the implantation system, you're not going to be able to move while you're in implants. Of course, you can either put it in your left eye, you can either put it in your right eye, or you can completely cancel this operation together. If you try to crouch to do it, you're not going to be able to. So don't worry, you're not going to accidentally select something. I'm going to put these both in. I'm going to put these both in my eyes. Boom. Let's just scroll here. Boom. And of course, we can disable these and re-enable these. Or disable them and re-enable them. Boom. The base gun, as you see, it had no moves. It does give me 100 temp chakra. Each one of the eyes gives me 50, so the left one gives me 50, the right one gives me 50. That's what that little chakra icon with the clock on it is on the bottom of my screen. Of course, I have the dynamic health bar, which I added. I also got the dynamic chakra bar, and then, of course, I got the temp chakra bar. Anyways, also, you will not be starting with this much chakra. This is completely just, I gave myself some chakra, and I gave myself all the items. These are the items that should be working. The Rasengan has a few bugs that I don't know why they're broken, but I will fix those soon. Of course, before we get into anything else, we do have the M1 system, which a lot of people love. It is a M1 combo system. And, of course, yeah. Also, I added a few movement things, including we actually have the run now. Of course, you can dash by double jumping. And yes, this is based off whichever way you're facing. And yes, you can spam it. I'm not going to add a cooldown because I think it makes it fun, and then you can travel far distances. Especially whenever some of the villages are going to be across the entire map from each other. Okay. Now, I'm going to then showcase, at this point, yeah, let me just fight a husk with the M1s. Boom. If you've seen the previous video, you should know what this looks like already. I mean, they're not too complicated of M1s. Boom. There it is. Okay, and yeah. Now, we're just going to look at Tutsumoi. Tutsumoi isn't too much different, so this is going to take us about a couple seconds to look at. We're just going to boom, boom, put this in my right, boom. All it is a visual change, also, but it also gives me an extra 50 in each eye of temp chakra, so in total it gives me 100 temp chakra in each eye. It's a beautiful system, and really that's it for the 2 Tomoe. It doesn't have any extra moves. Now we're going to look at the 3 Tomoe. 3 Tomoe is nice. We're going to put one in the left, and then we're going to put one in the right. Now, these have one move so far. They will get more moves, probably just an R1. For right now, it's just an L1. I'm probably going to add an R1 to these and give them a little bit more power. Now, for now, of course, now before I get too far ahead of myself, these do have an animation whenever you do use a move. If I am just to get my camera up here. So, of course, if I use a move, they do spin. It's amazing. Every single eye has this animation to whenever you use the jutsu. 1 Tomoe does, 2 Tomoe, 3 Tomoe, the Monkey Sharingan, the Renegon has a pulsing thing, the Byakugan is the only one that does not have an extra animation for that. Other than that, for whenever you use basic genjutsu on a player, it's this so far. This will be changed. This is temporary, and it will completely not do anything. Now, for mobs other than players, all it is a stun. It is a very lengthy stun, and they basically can't do much except stare at you. As long as you know how to look at entities, then it should be pretty easy to hit with. Okay. Now we're going to go straight to Byakugan. Byakugan is very special. Now, this is nowhere near done. Byakugan is most likely going to have around 3 to 4 moves. Byakugan is meant to be pretty broken off rip, and you'll see why. But for now, we only got an L1, and let's actually activate the Byakugan. Of course, we get our little Byakugan lines. These might visually change later, but I have not done character customization yet, so it hasn't done anything yet. Now, our L1, of course, is going to be our little far sight. We can see through things, and we can see pretty far. This is a very fun move to use, in my opinion. Now, these do have to be activated to be able to use any of these moves, so it's just the veins, of course. But visually, you will always have your Byakugans in your eyes. Now, after that, we're going to look at a few things. Now, before we get into Itachi's Monkey Sharingans, I wanted to look at a bit of the clothing. We're first going to just look at the Akatsuki robe. I've shown this in a previous video, so I'm not going to stay on it for too long. Now, of course, it's just a simple Akatsuki robe. This is what it looks like. Every single fold should work perfectly fine, and I will add more color variations in this, and it will most likely be around 16 of them. Now, here's the new pieces of clothing. Of course, we have Time Skip Sasuke's pants. Time Skip Sasuke's pants, they are not too dynamic, but they're basically what are meant to match with these 3 items right here. Now, we have his first Time Skip shirt, which is the one you see in the beginning of Shippuden. And, of course, it's that little baggier white one. And other than that, it shouldn't be too complicated. Then we have the second one you see in Shippuden, which is basically these bandages around his waist. There's some on his forehead, some on his wrist, and then it's this sort of cut blazer type thing. But other than that, I haven't added the bandages to the head. Of course, the headband's there. I will add headband customization so you can put it almost anywhere. But for now, I am way too lazy to do that. Of course, and then we have the one where you see mainly in the war arc in the very last final battle. I believe he's wearing this when he fights Itachi. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can't say too much against that. But this is probably the one that I will use most of my playthroughs. And yeah, other than that, that's as simple as that is. For the rest of this, I am not going to be wearing any of these items as they are completely useless in my opinion. Rasengan does work. The problem with Rasengan right now is that it has a bug where all the visuals are in the head. It shouldn't be like that. I'm going to fix that probably not before the public or the private beta, but it will be fixed soon. And of course, this just pushes them back pretty far. And boom. Boom, 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 and boom. Okay. Then we're going to look at Itachi's eyes. Now, Itachi's eyes are some of the most complicated eyes I have in this entire mod right now. And I will need to be pulling out some of these weapons and other things for like that. Including fire jutsu like Fireball. And that's the only one we got in the Addon so far, but I will showcase it. Now, of course, Itachi's eyes, we got to implant them. Boom. And of course, these are the visuals for them. In my opinion, they look pretty good. Of course, they spin as well, which is pretty nice. And then, of course, we have L1, which is normal Amaterasu. And then we have L2, which is going to be our Amaterasu trait. I'll showcase what each one of them do, and I'll explain it, obviously. Normal Amaterasu, of course, is as simple as just exactly what you would think you would do, even in the show. You cast it onto an enemy that's already casted in front of you. Do not look too far down or you will hit yourself. That is meant to be on purpose. It's meant to be, don't look at yourself. It's a canon thing. It's weird, but it's worth it when it comes to canon and functionality. Now, if we look completely straight down, you have to look all the way down. If you're a little bit off, it's not going to work. But if you're all the way down, then you use Amaterasu, you get something called Amaterasu trait. Now, for right now, this is solely because we're not holding a weapon. It is only going to be able to use Fireball. Now, if we use the Fireball right now, you're going to get this sort of purple Fireball here, and for the first time, it likes to lag. Hold on. Now, if I use a normal Fireball, of course, it just sends a normal orange Fireball out. But if I have that trait here, then it sends an Amaterasu Fireball out. I'll showcase exactly what that does here in a second, but for now, let me look at these weapons. Now, when it comes to these weapons, if you have it in your last slot, it will be on your character. It will stay there no matter what else you're holding or no matter what else. So if I put this in my last slot, I now have the legendary Kusanagi. Now, when it comes to these items, if I go to the regular Kusanagi, of course, if you crouch, it's going to sheath us. So yes, you can sheath your weapons. And the M1s are pretty simple. It's a slash, secret slash, and a punch. So slash, secret slash, punch. And then the S rank or the legendary version is just the same thing, but it just has some extra visuals to it. The entire point of the legendary versions of basic weapons is just for visuals. They look a lot better and they are going to be boss drop only. These will be able to be crafted, the regular ones, but the S rank legendary ones will always be boss drops. Doesn't mean every legendary weapon in the game will be that, like Sarahada will have its own quest line for that. There will only be one of those in the world, but for now, these legendary weapons or legendary variants of basic weapons will be boss drops only. Anyways, if I am then to give myself the trait while holding one of these swords, I will then give flame to my M1s here. It'll give flame to my sword for 5 seconds. Now, if I am to fight a couple of these guys, the difference of just a normal slash, of course, which is boom, 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 boom. If I am to give myself this, it will now give them a slight amount of Amaterasu for a limited amount of time whenever you slash with them. Boom. And there it is. Perfect. Now, I'm going to give myself the trait. And if I am to hit a group of husks with a Amaterasu Fireball now, it will then, boom, cast Amaterasu onto them. Very nice. Now, of course, if you send it without that, then it just does a little explosion AoE damage. It's simple. Okay, that is the basics of Itachi's MS. Now, I am going to fight gaining Naruto while wearing these. I am most likely just going to wear these because it looks better for the boss fight. And yeah, I'm going to fight gaining Naruto with this. Boom. I'll use the legendary version just because... Actually, I'm going to use the regular version. As in my opinion, I like the black sheath with it. And we're just going to place one of these guys down. Now, of course, we've all seen him. He has the same combos as you, except he does have his uppercut. Boom. Which is very devastating. Now, luckily, we're right here, so I don't got to worry too much. Of course, there's a Shadow Clone right there. We're going to try to kill that Shadow Clone. There we are. Of course, he has his Rasengan. His Rasengan does look like it works correctly. Boom. Now, he's using Shadow Clone instead of Rasengan. Trying to see if I can force him to... He's most likely going to blitz step. Yep, there it is. Boom, he's going to uppercut me. He's pretty devastating when you're not fighting back. But of course, that's because I'm not fighting back. Now, is he going to use a Rasengan? I don't know. There it is. Boom. Of course, Rasengan does a lot of damage to you. We'll try to bring him more towards this side over here. Boom. And yeah. I'm just going to kill those clones with a fireball. Now, Bleed is kicking my ass right now. Why am I not using Kusanagi? I have no clue. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And somehow this bleed is not ending. Okay, there it is. Boom. Of course, I'm going to cast Amaterasu, and I casted it onto myself like a dumbass. Yeah, I never claimed to be good at PvP. Boom. Give myself the trait. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, he ended up dying from all turrets. But that's the basics of just what's it called? That's the basics of Itachi's eyes. In my opinion, they look amazing, but of course that's subjective to my own opinion. Renegon, we can go over them. I'm gonna go over the basics of them. There's some visual bugs I gotta fix with them. But other than that, y'all should all know how Renegon works. Boom. Okay. Of course, you know, our L1 is going to be our universal pull. Of course, I broke the animation somehow, so don't get too mad at me. Boom, boom, boom. Of course, there's Almighty Push, which you just got to hold R1, which is jump. And boom, we're going to push these guys away from us. Oh, you can kind of see the animation there, but... And then, of course, I'm just going to push him away. Now, of course, level 6 and up are going to simply be destroying blocks. We'll go to 7 just so you can see how the camera kind of works. But it goes up to level 10. I'm not going to go any higher than that because I like my phone not exploding today. Level 10 can absolutely wipe entire villages, and it's completely devastating. Without further ado, other than that, that should be practically everything that is in the add-on so far that I'm willing to show. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, join the Discord in the description. We will be having a private beta that's happening pretty soon, actually tomorrow from when this video is release date. And yeah, anyways, have a good day. Please subscribe and bye.